Light and peace, brothers and sisters. Topic for today is the body's energy system known as chakra. I've been researching about why humans. Part of what I am been doing is to make sure my body is in perfect harmony before I cross over, because OahspeCollegeUniversity makes us understand that if your body is not in perfect harmony, uh, you're gonna continue having problem in heaven when after death. That includes, if you leave this world with spiritual sickness or some type of diseases, that will continue after death. So there's no escape route. So this explains why the Egyptians were, they make sure their body was in harmony before they left this world, or before dying. And that explains a lot of reason why they were mummifying their body. So I was researching, about the chakra. I've always known a little more about the chakra. It's just the energy level, because I had studied metaphysical science for 7 years. And I have an idea about it. I know about it, but I kind of like just ignored it. But when I started dabbling to reading the OahspeCollegeUniversity, interesting enough, I saw that word chakra, and I was like, huh. And one of the reasons I just don't want to, do research further or even continue to work on the energy level is because, I've always concluded the entire thing came from, India slash China slash, or Japan. Because when you research and when you go to YouTube videos or even go on Google, you see a lot of information about chakra, and they seem to dominate coming all the way from the country of India, and some of them are country of China. Even the Chinese technology today, they work on meridian points. Same thing with chakra. It's energy levels. And we're in the Cosman era. I just can't ignore such knowledge. This knowledge is vital to help me progress in spirituality. I'm gonna go on YouTube, show you guys some stuff that I found, and I find this very interesting. And it's amazing when I'm, one thing just to be clear, when you're looking for answers and you can't find it, don't expect or think the creator will give you that answer if the answer already exists. Let me put it this way. If the answer is already in this world that we live in, or someone has that information, the creator would not give you that information. So you got to search or find that information. Somehow you get it. And that's why you have spirits around you who are vibrating around you. And they'll somehow inspire you. You'll find it. And it was so funny. I've been researching about chakra. Why do I get weak? Why do I have fatigue? I found the answer. And that would be in my upcoming video, where I will talk about it in fullness without sugarcoating. And it's a unique instance. And a lot of people know about it. They just ignore it, just like I've been ignoring it. And now I'm doing something about it. Because, I want to cross over. When I cross over, I want to have a good body, So, in OahspeCollegeUniversity talks about this chakra, but there's no detailed information about it. So, I don't know if it was left on purpose, or there might be some other lost books of OahspeCollegeUniversity that have it, because this is not a complete book of OahspeCollegeUniversity. So, not everything was published. So, the information might be lying in one of those lost books. Either way, it doesn't matter to me. OahspeCollegeUniversity is just a spiritual book. It's just a book for you to read and, move on to the next, phase in life, So, so I'm going to go to the book that I read today, and I find it very interesting. I'm like, this is interesting. The book of God's Word, chapter 11, verse 8. verse 8. And Ohmas is the creator, created combination unity, which is strength. And it says karma. And then you see that word chakra? That's amazing. Then power to receive knowledge, aiding a mass. My concern is this book of God's word, chapter 11, verse 8. The word chakra is actually in the OahspeCollegeUniversity. Interesting. Now, this chakra has to be the same thing, okay? And originally I thought, no, it's not. So I decided to copy this, okay? So when you look at chakra compared to this modern word, you see this is the modern word here, chakra. It gotta be. This is the same thing. So I went on YouTube, okay? And, you know, this was the video I found, but I'm learning to something. So let me do it this way. That way, just know. So I'm going on YouTube, okay? I'm typing the exact word in OahspeCollegeUniversity. When I press enter, you see, when I press enter, amazing enough, this is what I search for, okay? I search for CHAKHRA, and amazing enough, YouTube corrected me and said, this is the one, okay? That this is not. So what has happened over the years is that word changed, you know? So, and all this came up, okay? All these chakras, I've been watching videos, even years back, you know, during my life when I was researching on mental physics. I had, you know, read a lot, I've done all kind of stuff on it. But what came up was, so this came up, and what I want to show you is this video. I want you to listen to this, because this is amazing. So I want you to listen to this, because we're gonna go to the, okay. All right, so I'm gonna play this. Just listen to this carefully. I'm learning to something.
Today is our glandular or endocrine system. Glands secrete hormones that trigger reproduction. Fertility and procreation had high value in Egyptian ideology.
The ancients were very much in tune with how the energy systems in the body, or the chakras, as the East Indians would talk about them, were connected to the glands.
Ancient teachings speak of 7 energy centers in the body called chakras. Parallels occur between the concepts of chakras, or energy centers in the body, and our glands. It appears they are 2 ways of describing the same thing, through spirituality and through science. Ancient Egyptians had a holistic understanding of the significance of the glands and their central role in reproduction and in consciousness. If we can decode the symbols, we see that the sacredness of procreation is readily visible in ancient Egyptian art.
When you see a boy or a man, you see a kind of a bottle on his head. This is a gland in the human body known as the thymus, located behind the lungs.
The thymus is most active when a baby is in utero. It continues to be active until puberty. Then it begins to shrink and is atrophied when we stop being fertile. It was a critical activator of consciousness.
In the human body.
I'm interested in
known
this.
as the thymus, located behind the lungs.
The thymus is most active.
So I'm interested in this thymus. And the reason why is I'm interested in this. What's amazing about this is when you look at the entire videos, all the videos, I mean, I've seen some people, they talk briefly about it, they call this thymus the 8th chakra. Now, people, they say we have 16 chakras. I've even seen videos where they say we have 118 chakras, energy points. And, I've seen people that say 124. The numbers are enormous. The major one that people believe today is for us to continue to live in harmony with our body is 7 chakras. But what's amazing about this is that the video says how when a baby is for the baby, young ones is large. As we grow old, it shrinks. Now, I found this interesting. So this time months is my key or my research where I need to research further. And before I research further, so I'm gonna change. I'm gonna stop this video. Timers is what I was looking for, and it's so funny, it's so amazing that I was watching all the videos, and of all the videos I've watched, this particular one was interesting because even the Egyptians talk about it, and when you carefully look at this timers, right? This looks like the Egyptians, the Pharaoh's helmet that represents them to be that makes them the king. This right here,
When a baby is in utero.
looks like a Pharaoh's gear that makes them a king. Okay, so I'm gonna switch back to this. I was learning to something. Let's go back here, and so what's amazing about this timers is that when you look at chimpanzee and all these, this King Kong, this chimpanzee, this big gorillas, amazing thing they do is they hit both of their hands on their chest. They are actually hitting this. They're touching this. This is where they're hitting. They're hitting the timers. They're banging on the timers to give them strength, vitality. This is amazing. The chimpanzees, literally hit on top of they bang their chest vigorously. Ba, 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 ba. The chimpanzees and the gorillas. This is what they hit it. They hit it on these timers. Okay? They hit it on the timers. This is, let me circle this. This is interesting because the gorillas and the chimpanzee, they hit on this. This here is what they hit on. And I find this very interesting. So they're banging, they hit on the energy point. So the timers only gives you energy and it releases energy all over the body. This is the fastest way for you to heal your body that I'm saying now. But of course, there are more research to it. I'm still researching it. But I find it very interesting that a gorilla, okay? I find it interesting that a gorilla and a chimpanzee, go watch the video. They hit their 2 hands on top of the chest. They bang the chest. They're not banging on the lungs right now. They're banging on the timers. And another amazing thing that I discovered is that when the doctors of today's, or when they say that, we humans have an heart attack, that we have an heart attack, I don't think we had an heart attack. We had a timers attack. It's what I feel like we had. And because when the timers literally dies, or because that's what gives you no connection to the soul plane. So this is the connection to the spiritual world, in my honest opinion, because even the Egyptians cater more for this. And if a gorilla and a chimpanzee is hitting on this is interesting. Brothers and sisters, more research to be done. Here you have it. Energy centers, people talk about it. People have been finding ways. And when you look at the monks, right? They take this big, that look like a clapperboard, and they make a big hit sound. Let me go on YouTube for a minute. because this is getting interesting, right? So I'm finding this interesting. Let me go on YouTube. I'm gonna go on YouTube and I'm gonna type Chinese gong mong or something like that. Sound. Yeah, this right here. When they bang it on this, yeah, see this? When they bang it on this, there you go. And if it's right beside you, right? When they bang it on this, they're actually banging on, they're trying to activate your entire chakra system, right? So it's so the traditional way of doing it is the way the chimpanzee and the gorilla does it. They just bang on the timers. Light and peace, brothers and sisters. Yeah, you have it. Bye bye now.